Hi guys, it's Rebecca. Thank you so much for joining me for today's video. Today's video is going to be a get ready with me for my kind of like everyday kind of look. Some people have been asking for me to do a get ready with me because I don't know if it's they don't believe me or they're just curious as to how I do my makeup so I can go through as much product as I normally do. I've always said I'm pretty heavy-handed with my makeup. I've always said I wear a lot of makeup. And I guess you guys just want to see my how I do this in action. So I am filming in my bathroom. This is the best way for me to set up. Usually I get ready in my bedroom, and behind this wall right here I have a vanity, and that's where I sit on the bed and then I do my makeup there. But just for the sake of filming setup, this works best for me. It might look a little bit dark, I apologize, but like I said, this is just the best setup. I do have to go out right now. I have a meeting with, not a meeting, but like a brunch get together type thing. I mentioned that I was going on vacation later on in September, August, September. And we're getting a meeting with everybody that's going. We're getting together to kind of like discuss the final logistics of the trip, what we're gonna do, things like that. So that's what I'm getting ready for. And then I'll probably do some like errands afterwards. But anyway, let's just get started. So I have my face is clean. The first thing that I start with is with my SPF. I am using the Supergoop Mineral Matte Sunscreen SPF 40. As you guys can see, I have used quite a bit of this. This is kind of like a moussey consistency. That's it. It does have some tint to it, but I think it would work on any skin tone. So I do apply this. This does have a little bit of a kind of like a gel consistency. I don't know how else to describe it, but this is what I do right now for now that I'm using. This one, not my favorite SPF for the face. It doesn't break me out or anything, but it's just I don't know, I prefer like SPFs that are kind of like lotiony, not greasy, but like cream based. So that's that. And then the primer that I'm currently using is this little deluxe size, the Benefits Professional. And just so you guys know, I don't claim to be a professional makeup artist or a know-it-all when it comes to makeup. So if I don't apply these like you're supposed to, don't come at me in the comments. Don't tell me you're supposed to press it in, don't spread it. Like, I don't care, okay? I really don't care. Most of the time I'm just doing this in the morning. I get ready at 4 in the morning to go to work, so if I'm applying it correctly, that's kind of like the least of my problem. So that's it. That's my base. That's all I do. Then I go in with my concealer. The one I'm using right now is the Huda Beauty concealer in the color Coconut Flakes, and it has a metal dispenser like this, and I just apply it underneath my eyes like this, and then I just kind of wipe off the excess on the rest of my face. As you guys can see, I'm almost done with this guy, just like that. And then I go in straight with my foundation. I'm currently using the Marc Jacobs one, and I just do 2 pumps. This one, like, the pump is starting to get stuck in the bottom and I have to pull it up. So there you go. Again, I just use the rest of my face to wipe off whatever excess is here, and then I have to pull it up. That's it on this guy. And then most of my makeup brushes are dirty right now, so I'm using this little kabuki brush to finish blending out my makeup. So basically just work it through. As you guys can see, I am not applying the concealer how you're supposed to, dabbing it in. I'm just kind of like using it as a mixer to mix with my foundation. Same thing on the other side. I wonder how many people are gonna, even though I had that quote unquote disclaimer about how I apply my makeup, how many people are gonna feel like, start giving me what do you call it, advice on how I should do it instead. You know what, this works for me and it works fine. Now this kabuki brush obviously is like Who is it from? Do you guys recognize this brand? What brand is this? I don't know, but this is terrible. I always end up with like a bunch of like little brush hairs on my face. But I mean, it's getting the work done, but not the best. Ugh. So that's it for now for the face. Then I'm gonna use a new product today. It's not new, but it is new. It's for Milk Makeup. I bought this at Marshall's for $9.99 way back in the day, and I haven't used a cream bronzer lately because I've been using my Franken bronzer, but I feel like that bronzer it turned out so light that I kind of want to use. If you guys didn't watch my repressing video, I did a Franken bronzer, and I feel like it ended up looking a little too light. At first, it kind of looked like a bruise, and I just kept adding product, and I feel like it looks too light. I can't open it, hold on. Yeah, so I feel like it looks too light, so I'm going to use a bronzer base to kind of help it just look a little bit more bronzy. Ooh, trying to get this cap off the top. So let's see if I remember. It's been a while since I used. Oh no! This is super light. Can you even see it? I can barely see it, and I'm like right in front of the lighting. Like I have to get really close to it. But man, I better start using this one because this one's really light too. Can you guys even see it? You can barely see it. So let me put this back together and see there's like the hairs from that brush. Anyway, let's close that up. Where's my little brush? Let's blend it in. I'm kind of happy that it's so light because then I can like over apply it and then I can go through it even faster. So that's it for all the cream stuff. Now it's time to set my face, and I use my Too Faced Ethereal Glow Powder, Ethereal Setting Powder. And you know me, stick it right in there. Tap off the excess, and I just kind of set my full face. This brush is from e.l.f. I think it's just a powder brush. And then I go back in there. I have about this much. Tap off the excess. And then just set the rest of my face. My forehead. I kind of like always look up. I don't get Botox or anything, so I can just kind of do this so I can see where I had like brush hairs in my mouth. So I kind of do this to see where my makeup lines are going to form. And I just try to fill them in with this powder. That way they're not so noticeable. Same thing under the eyes. So that's this powder. And then I go in with my bronzer. And surprise, surprise, it's another e.l.f. brush. I can't remember what this brush is called. Like the angled brush. I don't remember, but the dogs are outside. So if you hear my puppy barking, that's my bronzer right here. That's my Franken bronzer. Tap off the excess. Let me go bring them in. Hold on. Okay, so they are in. Let me fix my headband thing here. Okay, so then I go in with my Franken blush, and it has this old e.l.f. compact. This is what this looks like. As you guys can see, there's a bit of a fallout here, which is fine. And then this brush is not from e.l.f., it's from EcoTools. So I just swirl my brush in here. This does have a lot of kick up, and I do tap it because it's a pigment. I used pigments to do my Franken blush. It's really, really pigmented. So that's it. Now it looks really heavy. I am well aware of that. And so I will see how much product is down left. I don't know if you guys can see. So I can just, I always just like blow it away because I don't want it to make too much of a mess. So after that, to tone this blush a bit, I use a highlighter. For the most part, it has to be a very like gentle highlighter. If it's something too glittery, too chunky, I won't use that. I'll just use face powder to tone it down. But for now, this has been working, and it's the Becca highlighter in the color Opal. I did repress it off camera, and I have used it, and this is what it's looking like right now. So this is after repressing. It looked pretty even after the repressing, but then now it's looking like this. So I use another e.l.f. blush, nothing fancy around here, guys. The mineral powder blush. And I just literally just kind of like twist the brush, press it and twist. And then that's how much product gets in here. And I just put it all over the face, or where I have the blush. And it kind of tones down the blush, and it gives it a glowy blush look. So there you have it. That's that. Now, I know what you're thinking. I did my whole face except the eyes, and there's going to be eyeshadow fallout. And there will be eyeshadow fallout, but it's okay. That's just kind of like how I do my routine. So for the eyes, we're going to start with the eyeshadow. I'm going to do the eyeshadow primer from Lorac. This is behind the scenes. And I just get a little bit on my middle finger, about that much. And then I share it between both eyes. Work it really well on the lid, and then up on the crease, and then when it's really thin, then I put it up higher on the rest of the brow bone. So that's that. I am going next with my Franken palette. I'm not going to show you guys what this is looking like right now because I've made good progress since that video. So I'm going to use the gray silvery shade that I have in Led Zeppelin. And I'm gonna get my e.l.f. eyeshadow brush. No, this is from Mary Kay. Oh my gosh, this is like 30 years old. Like, no, maybe not 30. I don't know, 25 years old. And I'm gonna get that shade. Now this has a lot of fallout because it's a repress. So I am expecting the big fallout. And I wish I could be with those people that don't tug on their eye when they put their eyeshadow or eyeliner or anything. I can't do that. When I watch other people get ready with me and they just go like this and then they're like perfectly putting, I can't do that. I have to like tug at my skin. So that's what I'm doing. And then I just pat the eyeshadow on the whole area. And that's what it looks like. Now I'm going to do the other eye. Same thing. Tug on the eyeshadow, on the eyelid, on the corner of the skin. And apply anything that's left over. If it looks uneven, I just kind of go back. See, I did it like way too here. So obviously, oh my gosh, I have a lot of fallout. So I have my another e.l.f. brush, but this is kind of like a flat tapered blush project. I get a little bit here, and then I just kind of like blow out the excess. Now I know I could do my eyes first to avoid this, but like I said, I don't know, I just, my thought process is to do my face first and then my eyes. I don't know, the cleanup doesn't bother me. I'll just keep doing it like this. Then on the crease, I'm gonna use my Alice, how do I cover this? I'm gonna use the only shade that I did not Franken shadow, and it's this Alice Copper shade. I'm gonna use this. This is supposed to be a blending brush from Mary Kay, but the brush is so frayed and it's missing so many like brushes, but it's my favorite blending brush, you guys. Favorite, again, Mary Kay, like 25 years old. So I'm gonna just swirl my brush there and then tap out the excess, and that's what I'm gonna put on the crease. Now I know I've never been really good at blending, probably because I have so much product on the brush. And so lately I've been trying to get in the habit of using a fluffy, clean brush to just kind of like blend out the eyeshadow, and so that's what I'm doing now. It's not perfect, but I feel like it looks better than when I originally applied it. And then just to finish things up, to lighten things, because I feel like it's too smoky, I'm going in with the repressed gold shade from that ABH Mini Pigment Pro palette that I have here. I'm just going to use a flat shader brush, and I apply it all over the lid, kind of concentrating in the two inner thirds of the eye. Again, just to kind of brighten that area a little bit. I ended up putting it on the whole lid. Oh well. Then I'm gonna go in with my powder here. Again, very lightly, and just kind of dust off the excess underneath. I am going to curl my lashes. Well, actually, I'm going to apply first my eyeliner. I'm using this brown eyeliner from Benefit. This is the roller lash in the color brown. And then I'm going to curl my lashes, put some mascara on, and I'm currently using the Big by Definition mascara from Sephora, and I'll be right back. And I am back with mascara and my eyeliner on. I feel like with the brown eyeliner, it doesn't look as dark and smoky. Maybe I'm wrong, but anyway, I'm going to do my brows with my bronzer shade that I repressed in this MAC eyeshadow single. And as you guys can see, I already hit pan. So I was kind of like playing with how much product in here. So I guess next time I can put more than how much product I used this time. But I'm just going to put my brush in there, and I always start with kind of like the end, and then I work on the front part. And this is an angled brush from Eco Tools. I think it came like in a kit or something. So then I'm going to do the other side. This side always kind of looks different. I don't know why. It's easier for me to do this side first and then try to do this side. Like, it always gives me a problem. It's like it doesn't match. It never matches. Kind of, sort of. Then the gel that I'm using right now is from Benefit, this little mini, the 24-hour brow setter. I'm really enjoying this one. I think I would consider buying this in the full size at some point, once I'm done with all my like minis and stuff and sample sizes. Last but not least, the MAC Prep and Prime Fix Plus, to kind of melt everything together. I have a fan, like a little fan that I use here, my dentist card, my reminder, to kind of like dry everything. And then for lips, I will have my Urban Decay Revolution lip gloss in my purse, so I will do that with my Huda Beauty lip liner. I will fill my lips completely and then apply the Revolution lipstick over it. I'm sorry I didn't bring that with me. Kind of didn't think about that when I was getting all the items here, but there you go. That is what this looks like. Hold on. Cleaned up my lips a little bit so they don't look too dry and weird, but there you have it. This is what my almost everyday look looks like. I know it's a lot of makeup, like I just said, for an everyday look, but for now, this is how it's working. This is one of the looks that I've been panning. I kind of tend to pan eyeshadow looks to help me go through my makeup faster. I'll pick like 2 or 3 and just focus on those. That way the eyeshadows have visible progress when I do an update. Because if I change it up every day, use all kinds of different eyeshadows every day, I'm not going to see progress, and that's going to discourage me. So I don't mind sticking to the same thing over and over again. That's just my mentality with almost everything, really. For cooking for one person, I meal prep. I eat the same thing 2-3 times a day. No, 2-3 times a week. And it's just like repetition doesn't bother me. But that's just what works for me. There you have it. I hope you guys enjoyed. And I'm probably going to do some filming and take advantage of this look already. And I'll see you on the next one. Bye.